Hello and welcome to this edition of Trojan Talk. I'm Paige Ray. Joining us today is a familiar face. This is Dr. Chris Shaffer, Dean of Libraries. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we are talking about almost something I consider to be a hidden secret, a hidden treasure of the library, which is all of the resources that are offered to students. We've talked before subject specialists, we've talked about interlibrary loans, all of those things that some students may not know about.
You know, it's funny, a lot of people don't know about them, no matter how much we try to let everybody know. But we've got 5 subject specialists that are there to help students and faculty with whatever their research needs are, and you can make an appointment with them, you can email them, but they're all right there on the website.
And what do they do? What would be a good example of a time you would need a subject specialist?
Well, maybe you're working on a paper and are not sure where to start. So I was a history major, so I'd probably want to go see David Kraus, who's our social sciences librarian. And he could sit with you and maybe explain how to do proper research, give you some ideas of resources you can use. If you go to the database page, it's broken down by subjects, and so you can choose history specifically, and then you'll see all the databases that have stuff about history in them, and so they can help you with all kinds of things like that.
And maybe we have some new students watching who are unfamiliar with databases and how they work in the library. Can you explain what those are?
Yeah. At first blush, at least, they work a little bit like Google. I mean, you've got the nice search box and you type in whatever it is you're looking for, but then you're able to drill down and you can say, I want a scholarly article, I want a peer-reviewed article, I want a journal, I want a book, I want all these different kinds of things, and you can narrow it by date. So, like if you're education or psychology or nursing, they always want something within the last 3 years. And so you can do a finite search like that. And there are 247 of these things.
Oh my gosh.
And so you do have to kind of get to know them. And that's why it's good to go talk to a librarian, because they can help you, learn what's out there, and also each one works a little bit differently. If you want to do a quick search, we do have a discovery overlay. And so when you first go to the page, you'll just see that box and you can type something in, and that can get you started, but you're still missing out on a wealth of information that the librarians have.
Absolutely. And something else, we've talked about are different subscriptions, I suppose you could call them. For instance, the New York Times.
The New York Times is my favorite thing. I spend about 2 hours on it every day. And if you go to the list of databases, go down to N, this isn't hard, and click on New York Times, you can register for an account. And then all you do is you download the app on your phone, if that's how I read it, and you've got a virtually complete subscription. You don't get the cooking feature.
Oh no, well, sorry, bad news, people. Well, tell me, are there any other resources that you feel like maybe aren't taken advantage of as much as you would hope?
Yeah, all of them, pretty much. I mean, it's always been a problem, I think, with university students. But I can remember before I was even a librarian and had hair, you'd meet people who were in their last semester or quarter of college, and they're like, "Well, I've got to go to the library for the first time."
Oh my gosh!
Because I've got a senior paper and I've got to do it, and I'm sure that still happens today. But one of the things the university is doing right now is trying to move to a Research 2 level status, and so we've been working to try to further develop our resources along those lines. So we've spent a ton of money to add a product called Sage Research Methods. And this is going to help any students and faculty who are working in a research class setting. And Dr. Pamela Lemoyne, who runs the Global Leadership doctoral program, she's actually eliminated textbooks from her class and is using that product.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was happy to know it was being well received. It also cost $175,000, so I really want it to be used.
So let's use it!
And we just added another one called Scopus, and that's going to be for everybody, but really it's going to be more for the faculty, because what they're able to do is look at articles and see how much they're being used. And so it's important for grant writers. They have to be able to show that their research is being used. And so it gives each of their articles a score. And that strengthens their grant application, because they can show that their research is used in the field, and so give us money.
Of course, thank you so much, as always, for joining us, and thank you for your work to make sure our library best serves our students.
Well, thank you.
Of course, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Trojan Talk.